everyone. This is Professor DePaulo welcoming you back to Psych 260, fully online, what used to be Psych 260 in class only. And so I want to show you how the Blackboard setup looks like for the course. If you log into Blackboard, pick your section. So your section is either going to be 260-1600 or 260-1700. So pick your appropriate section. You'll see the announcements page here where I left you an announcement a few days ago. On the left-hand side, you're going to see all of these tabs. So let me point you to ones I want you to use. Obviously, announcements will show up here, so you can read those. E-learning orientation. If you go into e-learning orientation, it'll walk you through how to use Blackboard, basically, and how to submit assignments. I think this is very useful, and I generally make this optional for students. But if this is your first e-learning course or you're not comfortable using Blackboard, I suggest you go into e-learning and take the orientation. I just did it myself like 10 minutes ago just to see exactly what was involved. It'll take you, a half hour to an hour. It's not that long. And if you're just starting out Blackboard and you feel very uncomfortable with the um, online sessions that we're doing now, because we have to, I suggest doing the e-learning orientation and see if you can get more comfortable using Blackboard. If you're okay with Blackboard and you're okay with using technology and you're telecommuting to work and etc., then you don't need to do this. This is for people that are a little bit nervous about online and Blackboard, and this will calm you down because it's a pretty simple setup. So the next tab I want you to look at is the syllabus. You click on the syllabus. Here's my revised syllabus when I go through this. This is the same syllabus for 1600 and 1700. So just because it says 1600 here doesn't mean it's a different syllabus. It's the same exact syllabus. I am opening it up. As you can see, I've now made the course fully online, spring 2020. Phone not applicable. So email and online meetings only. Location is online. The best way to communicate is through email. Obviously, this whole situation is just out of control. So I suggest you do nothing. Stay inside, study, do some reading, catch up on read a good book, watch some things on, Netflix or whatever, because there's nothing on TV. I mean, it's just don't watch the news all day and all night. That's what you don't want to do. Watch the news for maybe an hour a day. Just get an update on what's going on, your local community. But basically, there's nothing good on the news, so try not to watch that too much. Like I said, study for the course. I'll give you some readings to do. This week, I'm not going to give you too much because, it's the middle of the week and there's still kind of chaos going on. So we need to settle into a routine here. You can email me. That's fine. You want to talk about whatever the class. I know a lot of people are struggling with their jobs financially. It's a very difficult time for everybody. So I'm very understanding of the situation. So I just ask you, don't worry. Let's try to get through this the best we can. And hopefully by next semester, by the fall, we can get back to some semblance of normality. Who knows what that's going to be, but I'm assuming by the end of August that, we'll be able to go outside and so for now, let's just, relax and take our, we have online, we have internet, we can learn a lot through the internet. And I answer questions all the time. So email me. Don't call my office. My office is online only. No meetings on campus. Please do not go to campus unless you have to. There was a staff member that had coronavirus, or they strongly suggest that they have coronavirus. They they were hospitalized this week. So I don't know anything about it. That's all I know. But if you don't have to go utilize the library or everything else on campus, you can do it online. Do it online. It's just safer that way. Plus, I don't know if the campus is going to be open much further. I think we're going to get like full shutdown soon. So I know that's inconvenient for some people who want to use the computer labs and want to use the library, but I think, things have gotten kind of out of control. You can use the library online and pretty much get everything you need. Computers are a different story. Please try to, use your phone to watch. I'm putting everything on YouTube so you can watch it on your phone. If you have a tablet or if you need to share a laptop with somebody, try to get access to to the laptop or the tablet for at least, some time during the day if you can. My office hours are going to be virtual, Mondays 2 to 4, Wednesdays 4 to 5, and by appointment. Everything will be virtual. So I'm thinking about using either Blackboard Collaborate or Zoom. The reason being is that we just got Zoom now. I wasn't sure we were going to get Zoom. And Zoom seems kind of, I think, better overall. So what I'll do is for next week, I'll send out a link for Zoom and we'll try Zoom. And it'll be optional. You don't have, it's obviously office hours. You don't have to be there. You don't have to participate. For those that want to participate, I'll set up a Zoom session, Zoom meeting, and you can either dial in through your phones or you can basically, I'll send you the link. You click on the link and it'll take you there on your computers. And you'll just be in the Zoom session and we'll try that and see what happens. See if that works for everybody. If it doesn't, we can try Blackboard Collaborate. But I think Zoom is kind of has more features. I think it's a better program. So I will be posting on Blackboard the link for the office hours on Monday and Wednesday, and we'll try to communicate that way. That's optional though. Once again, you don't have to do that. That's if you want to like ask questions, talk about different things. Uh, you know, might be sort of partly office hours, partly just kind of conversation about stuff. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm available, so we can do that if you want. Just sign up for the link that I send you. Course description is the same course description, the same learning outcomes. I've replaced class discussion with discussion board. So everything's going to be on discussion board for now. Starting next week. So this week I will not give you a discussion board. Starting next week, we'll have a discussion board every week, just to keep up with the material. And this week, starting on Thursday, it's half a week. You're probably overloaded with things. I mean, it's an impossible situation in the world right now. So let's wait till next week. I understand this. I feel it too. I'm not like invulnerable to all this chaos. It affects me. I mean, it's just, it's just shaking your head in disbelief. So let's give ourselves a few more days to sort of settle into this modality and this way of life. And we'll start the discussion board next week. So same textbook as before. I will post, so the lectures will be posted to YouTube. I do this with my other online classes. So I've already posted the lecture for this week. And shockingly, the lecture is about an hour and 15 minutes long. It's actually an hour, 14 minutes and like 56 seconds, which is just kind of crazy. That it ended up being almost the exact same time frame as an in-class lecture. So I posted to YouTube, and they're up there. You can watch it at your own leisure. You can fast forward if you find me not interesting, you find me boring. You can use me to help you fall asleep at night if I'm that boring. That can work for you too. So everything will be on YouTube. And if you have any questions, like I said, office hours, virtual office hours, or email. Um, I'm checking my email, pretty often. So the class is asynchronous. We cannot meet live because certain people will not be able to make those times. I mean, having the class live at certain times each week would require everyone to have internet at those times and be available and have a computer or a phone or etc. That's too much. It's too difficult to do that. So we were told that it has to be asynchronous. So that means not live. So I will post things to YouTube like I do my other online classes. Every week, the discussion board, as I mentioned, there'll be 2 more exams. So there'll be actually one more exam and then a final exam. So exam 2 you still have, a final exam, and then obviously the film review project, which is still due May 4th. And I will post a link for you to submit that online. The second exam and the final exam will both be given in the Blackboard environment. So I've done that before with other classes. It'll be a combination of multiple choice and short answers as usual. You will have a time limit as well. So it'll be just like in class, except you'll be doing it at home. Um, and we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be easier than doing it in class, but it'll be a similar exams that I give in class. You'll upload the paper into Blackboard, the final paper, and it'll be graded and turn it in. So I'll give you comments on it. You can see the comments through the turn it in environment in Blackboard. The film review project is the same as we discussed previously. So it's the same exact course, just moved online. Class participation is a little bit, harder to assess. But if you're doing the discussion boards, that's going to take care of class participation. Obviously, there's some services here. I don't know how or when these services are going to stay open. To be honest, I don't know if the whole college will be on lockdown. It might be the case because of the increasing restrictions. So these things may not be available. However, you still have emails for these services. So if you just Google single stop or go to their single stop webpage, you'll find an email address there. You could then contact people um, and see what they can do for you. But going to campus is probably not a good idea. It's not actually. I'll say it's not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't go to campus unless you work there. And then, even if you work there, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go anyway. Work from home. Like a lot of people are working from home anyway from their other jobs. I'm working from home. Don't go. Don't go to campus. They were doing some kind of cleaning this week for it because of the infection, and it was closed anyway today. So I wouldn't go back until we got this stuff figured out. I mean, we're going to be on lockdown anyway in a few days. Office of Accessibility, I will be in contact with these people to make sure that I have the accommodations. If you receive accommodations for the exam, I will give you accommodations for the exam online. So I can give you the same accommodations that you got in person. I can give those accommodations online. Please email me and forward me your accommodations from the from the Office of Accessibility, just so I remember who's getting accommodations. And I will program it into Blackboard for the second exam and for the final exam. So if you're getting double time in person on campus, you'll get double time online. So all that stuff I can take care of as long as I know who's getting the accommodations. So make sure you email me, let me know you're getting accommodations so I can double check it and I have the correct list, because all the hard copy stuff I got in the mail is in my office, and I'm not going to my office because it's not worth the risk. And I don't think I can get in the building anyway. Plagiarism still counts. So despite moving online, despite the crazy circumstances we live in, I am still going to be looking for plagiarism. So for the paper, if you turn it in and you don't paraphrase, you don't put things in your own words, you just copy and paste, I will see it and I will penalize you for it, if not fail you for it. So just because, we may all die, which I don't think we're all going to die, but maybe 1 to 2 million people may die in this country. Hopefully not, but these crazy numbers are popping up in some models. I still need to have some kind of standards. And this is one thing I'm not flexible on. So please put it in your own words, paraphrase it, cite it, author, comma, date when you do your paper. Because if you copy, I'll know you copied. It's very easy. It shows up on the screen. It says, this was copied from this source. So I find it right away. Please don't be lazy. This is due May 4th. Don't wait till May 4th again. I would remind you in class, but I'm not in class. So I have to remind you virtually that do not wait to the last second to do this assignment. It's already the middle of March. you're going to blink and it's going to be April. So please do this, despite the insanity that's going on. This needs to be done. We need to keep to a regular schedule, because once the virus passes us, we're going to be expected to go back to life as normal. I mean, people are going to be expected to go back to work because the economy is tanking. We can't just have everybody do nothing for the next, months upon month. So in a month or so, or 6 weeks, or maybe 2 months at the most, we're going to have to go back to everything the way it was, or this country is going to go down. Unemployment could reach 20% if we're not careful. We can't just shut down the entire country forever. So we need to do the work that we have to do the best we can. I need to do my job the best I can from remotely. I need to not wallow in the despair that's going on. We need to kind of keep things going in the right direction, because eventually this thing will pass. Hopefully, it won't kill as many people as they might model that it kills, and we're going to move on. So stay indoors for now, and please, I'm begging you, don't be like these idiots on the beach in Florida that I watched TV today, and there are just people on the beach all over the beach in Florida going out and pretending like nothing happened. Do not be these people. These people are, I don't know what there are. The kids that are going on spring break. Don't be these people. I know someone that just went on spring break, and I just shook my head in disbelief. I was like, "Are you crazy?" It's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. You may not get sick. Your parents may not get sick. Your siblings may not get sick. Maybe no one you know will get sick, but you are putting other people's lives at risk. You know, People that are older, or people that have compromised immune systems, or diseases that are long lasting, like diabetes, like cancer. Those people are at risk, and those people can die if you go out and you ignore all the information that says shelter in place, stay home. If you want to just go for a walk, keep your distance from people, but don't go into crowded areas. They had to shut down the bars. I know in Hoboken, they had to shut down the bars because there were too many idiot 20-year-olds who were just, St. Patrick's Day, we're going to go drinking, we're going to have fun. We're too young to be affected by coronavirus. No, you're not. In France, there were plenty of young people under 30 that were seriously sick with coronavirus. So if you're 20 years old, you can get sick. And more importantly, if you don't get sick, you can be infected and pass it on to other people. So I will plead with you. Now, some people here I don't have to plead with. You're paying attention, you're doing what you're doing. But I have to plead with 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds to take it seriously, because some people aren't. And if they tell you to shelter in place, shelter in place. Because every time you're out, every time you're interacting with people in a crowd, with a bunch of people around, you are going to pass the virus. You have the potential to pass the virus onto somebody else or contract it yourself. And then if you pass it to the wrong person, they're going to die. So unless you want, 1 to 2 million people in this country to die, you must take it seriously and stay indoors. It sucks. It's boring as hell. I can't even order from the supermarket because everybody maxed out everything. It's crazy. People are insane, but this is the safest place to be, because you don't want to pass on the virus or contract the virus yourself. And if everybody just goes out, even if just 20-year-olds go out, like they are on the beach in Florida, people are going to die. Massive amounts of people are going to die. And, we can't have that. So if you're thinking this is not serious, people are blowing it up, think again. And if they tell you to stay indoors, stay indoors. Go watch Netflix. Do my work. Go read. I'll give you more articles to read. We can talk about it. We can do different things remotely. But I mean, just you know, don't go out recklessly and endanger other people, please. I beg of you. That's my public service announcement for the course. So I can move on now. The grading has changed, so 2 exams at 17.5% each. So I lowered the percentage of the grade from 25 to 17.5. Some of you may like that, some of you may not. I had to because I have to fit in the discussion board now. The final exam is still going to be 20%. The movie paper is still going to be 25, and I'm going to make the discussion board 20. So unfortunately, I have to add a discussion board because we're meeting remotely, and so please take the discussion board seriously too. Do a good job with the discussion board. Write a thoughtful response when we start next week. So I'm going to ask you to write the post, and I'm going to ask you to respond to 2 other people. Be thoughtful about it. Put some time into it. Just don't write 1 or 2 sentences. I want write a couple solid paragraphs for a discussion board post would be helpful, and so we can actually have a discussion. And for those that haven't done it before, it's not a big deal. It's just I'm going to give you something to do, and I'm going to ask you to comment on it, and then we'll have a discussion about it. The grades stay the same, so the grade percentages are the only thing that changed here. The schedule is a little bit altered. I'm going to try to keep up with it, so I'm a little bit behind now because I'm in week 7 and we should be in week 8, but I'll catch up eventually. So I'm like 1 week behind because of all this chaos. It's okay. I'm going to catch up. Uh, one of these weeks I'll give you a little bit more. So next week, which we're going to be doing PTSD and related disorders, and then mood disorders and treatment. So what I'll probably do is I'll catch up with the mood disorder group and make that into one big lecture, and that'll catch us up. So you'll have a little bit more work probably the next week and the subsequent week going forward, but it's okay. I'll post a longer lecture. So we're gonna try to keep on schedule as much as possible here. You registered with you're clear with the bursar's office and all that stuff. We don't have to worry about that. That's for the beginning of the semester. And that's about it. So starting next week, you'll have the discussion board. This week, all you have to do is watch the lecture that I posted. And let me show you what it looks like here. So week to week, you're going to find the information under this thing called Weekly Guide. And this is going to show you week to week. So what I did here is this is all hidden. You won't see these items. I just basically hid them from you. You don't need to see them because they're for the future or for other things. I will make them more available each week. So right now you're only going to see these 2 things here. Week 1 through 7 is basically what we did in the previous weeks, what we did in class. So if you click on that, you're going to see all the chapters that we covered, the review for the exam. If you've done all this, we don't have to do this, right? That's just review. So if you want to review, you can see the review there. Week 8, we're starting here, and I put the dates here, 316 and 322. Anxiety disorders, week 8. So this week, you're going to be clicking on this week 8. Here are the slides for chapter 5. Here's my video lecture in YouTube. So click on this, watch the video lecture. It's an hour, 15 minutes. It's posted in YouTube. And once you're done with that, you're done for the week. Do other things, get organized, work on the paper, whatever you need to do. This week is an easy week. It's only half a week. So go back. Next week, you'll see week 9 underneath this. You'll click on the folder for week 9. You're going to have a lecture. You're going to have a discussion board assignment. And that's basically what it's going to look like. And then you're going to have week 10, and then week 11, and week 12, right? So it's going to just go by week. So let me show you what I do for my research course. Actually, let me show you some other things here. Assignments. This is the other thing you click on here. Here's extra credit articles. These are study guides for exam 2 and exam 3 that we're going to have in the future. But here's my extra credit articles I gave you. I will provide a link for you to then submit the extra credit assignments. So that has to be done before the end of the class, the end of the semester, if you want credit for that. And then you have discussion board here, and I will post the discussion board under this link, discussion board. And it'll be in the weekly link. So these are the tabs you really need to know. Announcements, you're going to see e-learning if you need help with the e-learning with Blackboard. You need like a sort of orientation. The syllabus is the syllabus. The weekly guide is the key here. The weekly guide is where you're going to get all your assignments for the week. And the assignments tab is for your extra credit, and I'm going to put the paper here. The final paper is going to be under assignments, and you're going to submit it. But every link will be in the weekly guide. So the weekly guide is the key. You'll click on the week, and it'll give you information. I'll put videos, everything to sort of go through, to watch the lecture, to watch the videos, to do the discussion board. It will all be in the weekly guide here. If I show you the other courses that I teach, like the research course, let me just show you the research course so you can compare that. Click on weekly guide. This is how I set up my courses, and you can see it's organized by week. This is how I always set up my courses. So they're in week 8 in my research course, and so I put every week here, week 8, the topic and the date, and then you can see that I have them doing the method section. Here's my lecture on YouTube. Here's the slides for the lecture. I have them doing a program called Launchpad, which is homework, online homework. Here's the discussion board assignment for them that week. And here's a video that I can have them watch that relates to what they're doing. They're doing qualitative research. So this is how my class will always be set up. So you're going to have your own setup online. You just go through it. You do everything on this page here under week 8 or whatever. You do every assignment here, you're good. You're done. And then you go on the next week. So, and when you do the discussion board, if you click the link, it takes you right to the discussion board. And then you have to hit create thread. And when you hit create thread, you're able to put your discussion board response in here. You can type your response in the box. Should be a couple solid paragraphs. And so you're going to have that starting next week moving forward. Just click create thread and you can start typing, right? So when I hit create thread, it shows me the assignment here. You put the subject here. You can put your name, or you can, discussion board week 8, whatever. And then you put your response in this box here, and then you just hit submit. And that's it. And once you submit, you can then reply to other classmates. You cannot reply to anybody else unless you submit your own assignment, your own discussion board post first. You have to post your own response before you can actually respond to other people. That way you don't look at other people's stuff and basically copy what they're doing. And that's how I do my discussion boards. You're going to have your own setup. This is my research class. You're going to have your own setup in the abnormal class. And that's it. So let me get out of here. This is my research class. I'm going to go back to abnormal class. So you're going to have set up like that. You have week 8 already. Next you're going to have week 9, etc., all the way to the end of the semester. And that's it. So I will compile the link for the Zoom from Monday afternoon and Wednesday, and we'll go from there for office hours if you want. If you have any questions, email me. I hope you're safe. Hope your family's safe. Please do the right thing and stay inside. And if you need me, I'm just an email or a virtual meeting away, and we'll be talking soon. Okay, bye for now. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this informative, and I'll see you online shortly.